In the last lecture, we explored how to create a basic table. Now we'll see how the table width behaves when one table is nested into another table cell. If a table is placed within another table, it's referred to as a nested table. The table containing the nested table is referred to as the parent table. Let's start by creating another table in our existing document that has one row and one column. We'll start with the open table tag, and we'll set the width to 100% to begin with. We'll apply a 1 pixel border. And we'll set the border color to red so we can distinguish our parent table from the nested table. We'll close our open table tag. And now we'll create the single row and the single column. So now that we have that table created, we want to nest our original table into our newly created parent table. So we have to do this very carefully. We need to copy this entire block of code from the close table tag right up to the open table tag on our original table. We're going to right click and cut this block of code and paste it inside within the TD tags on our new table. So right click and paste. And I'm just going to do a little bit of formatting so it helps us stay organized. Just highlight all the table rows and columns. You can, if you position your cursor here and hold the Shift key and click at the end of the area you want to highlight, it highlights the entire block of code, and then you can just indent by using the Tab key. Okay, so that just helps us stay a little bit more organized. Before we go any further, let's save our file and preview this in our browser to make sure that everything is working correctly. And so now we can see the parent table identified by the red border and the nested table with the blue border. So currently our parent table is 100% and our nested table is 500 pixels. So for that reason, the parent table is taking up the full width of the content area of our browser, and the nested table is a fixed value at 500 pixels. Now let's try a couple of different scenarios to see what happens when we adjust the width of the nested table relevant to the parent. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is we'll change the width of the nested table to 50% rather than 500 pixels. Now save your changes and refresh the browser window. Now we can see as we expand and contract the browser window, our nested table is always occupying 50% of the parent table. Okay, I'll change the the width of the parent table to 80%. Press refresh. And now the parent table is 80% of the content area of the browser window. And the nested table is 50% of the parent table. So it's a little bit confusing, but with a bit of practice, you'll get the hang of it. You'll notice that as we expand and contract the browser window, the nested table always stays at 50% of the parent table's width. Okay, this time we'll make the parent table 600 pixels and the nested table 100%. So this time the parent table is a fixed 600 pixels and the nested table is 100% of the 600 pixels. So as you can see, the width settings of the nested and parent table will affect the way the table is displayed in your browser.